Going on today, guys? Today is, well, kind of new bike day, but it's not really new bike day because I've had it for about a week now, but I'm just now getting around to sharing it with y'all. So as many of you seen, I sold my KLR 650, my third gen 2022. Many of you are asking why did I build such a bike and then decide to sell it? Well, I'll go over that in this video, explain why I sold it, why I bought this, and just how that all evolved. But without further ado, a lot of you guys are wondering, what did I get? What's the new bike? As you can see, sticking with the old Kawasaki, and you know, Kawasaki's done me good over the years. I've owned several, and this bike I'm sure will treat me just as well. Without further ado, here's the new machine. She is a 2013 Z1000SX. It is based off the same premise of the ZX10, but this is the SX line, which has more upright bars, a more neutral seating position. The engine is a little different. The ZX10 has a full race engine. This has a little bit bigger displacement, but still puts down plenty of power for all you need. So I'm just going to do a walk around, and then I'll go into details of why I bought this bike, why this particular bike, and why I was in such a hurry to get this bike. So I used to have a Z1000. I had a 2010 model. It was the naked version. It wasn't the full fairing version as you see here. These are also, they get the Ninja designation to them. So that Z1000, I loved it. I sold it for a couple different reasons. Nothing that really stands out other than I thought I was done with it. And as a lot of us do, once I sold it, I instantly regretted it, but there was other reasons involved too, which I won't even cover in the video. They're kind of personal reasons. So why this bike? How did this evolve? So I'm just going to kind of pan in and scan around as I describe why this bike. So this bike belonged to my friend. As you can see, this thing is flawless. I don't know if the video will do it justice, but this paint is a metallic, like a pearl, and it is gorgeous. Same with the black. It has a metallic pearl in it. Belonged to my friend. This bike is fully built. I'm going to go over everything that's on this bike, all the add-on accessories, and what I plan on adding to it myself. But a friend posted this for sale, and conveniently enough, he posted it for sale just a week or so after I had already thought about selling the KLR for something different. So my son has a little Ninja 650, and it was sitting here at my house for some time, and I really enjoyed riding that bike. I really missed having a lightweight sporty bike at my disposal. So I decided I wanted another one, and my other friend just sold his KLR 650, and it kind of put a burr in my ass about wanting to get it done. So and this one popped up for sale. I know the build. I know what my friend's done to this bike, and I'm going to cover every little detail of this bike and why I was so trigger happy on wanting to get this thing bought. There's a lot of money dumped into this bike. But anyway, yeah, that's in a nutshell. Timing was perfect. He had a good price on this versus what I could get out of the KLR for a quick sale. As you can see, oh, there's little smudges there. I'll wipe that off. Still smudgy, but I'll get that. The paint is just perfect on this bike. 2013, 14,000 miles. And as you can see, she is gorgeous. So, yeah, I'm going to start with the bottom down, I think, on the aftermarket mods on this bike, and there's a lot of them, so stay tuned. So for starters, it has a full carbon fiber Akrapovic exhaust. Kind of zoom in on the headers here. Get out the front. Full exhaust, cat delete, true dual system, carbon fiber mufflers. This thing even has carbon fiber mounting brackets, which is crazy. He upgraded the steel sprockets, super sprockets. He upgraded to a new DID chain. There was nothing wrong with the chain that was on it at 14,000 miles, but he did not like the EK chains. So he upgraded the sprockets in the chain set. So that's all brand new-ish with a few hundred miles on it. I'll just go right to the back here. Has a mono key Givy side rack system for hard bags. He did tour on this bike. It was why he built it, to have a lightweight, fun, sporty touring bike. He had already had the Givy mount for the top case on here. He had a universal rack. I have already upgraded to the Givy, what do you call this? The M rack, or the designated rack for this, or sorry, plate for this rack. And then I've already purchased a top case for it. I think it's a sporty-ish top case. I will run that thing almost all the time. I like to have a place to put my helmet, gloves, you know, run errands to the store or whatnot. So that is a must for me. Also, I do have a set of hard side bags on the way. I bought a set secondhand used on eBay, or actually I got them on Marketplace. So I will have the side hard bags as well. Got a deal on them. Not sure how much I'll actually use them, but they're on the way in case I would ever want to. This side rack system is actually kind of unique too, because it has these cam locks for here, 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 and here. Sorry. You remove quarter turn cam locks and these racks come off. And the only thing that will remain is just a bracket here and hanging off the rear peg a little bit. So that is a pretty cool system. While I'm still at the back of the bike, I would just go ahead and zoom in on this Penske shock and spring. Custom setup. This bike is sprung for around a 300-pound man, because the previous owner was a little heavier than me, but I'm not far from that. So full Penske shock on the back. Rear brakes, brake pads have been updated to EBC cinder brakes. I do have braided line to put on the rear of this. I'll cover more of that on when I get to the front of the bike here. As far as seat goes, stock seat, stock pegs. I did reinforce these a little bit because I don't know if any of you know, but Kawasaki makes those pretty squishy from the factory. So, oh, and I almost forgot another thing in the rear. We have the integrated tail light with turn signals. Let me go up here and flip the key on and show you that. And so the turn signals have been deleted. This is all upgraded to LED. It still has the tail on it, but I think I'm going to leave that. I don't think I'm going to dock it off, because the top case and the tail, it kind of just makes it look like it should. I think if you dock that tail off, that top case would just hang out way too much and not be a very good look. So I'm going to leave that on. I think that is it for the rear of the bike. So let's go to the front. And here's where a lot of the candy comes into play. So as you can see, we have the Brembo monoblocks calipers. We have a set of, I'm trying to remember the brand of the braided lines. Friend braided carbon fiber reinforced, or not carbon, it might be carbon fiber. I'll have to look it up again. It's either carbon fiber or Kevlar reinforced brake lines. I also have the one to put on the rear. That's what's in that package, so I will be putting it on shortly. So Brembo monoblock caliper, Brembo brake pads, Brembo brake rotors. Zoom in on the money shot there. Brembo. This bike is an ABS model. Everything with the ABS works perfectly with the Brembo setup. While I'm down here, I'll go ahead and cover the front forks. The front forks have custom traction dynamics cartridges that has upgraded springs, a stiffer spring for a heavier rider, which is perfect for me. That was one thing I had a complaint about my previous Z1000, is the front was sprung way too soft. Plenty of adjustment to go lighter or heavier for my style of riding over the previous owner. So that is, front and rear, custom suspension, full Brembo build on the front brakes, and it's dialed in for the most part. So we have an upgraded Puge Racing Solutions windscreen. And these are adjustable on these. Hit the little lever and it falls back. So I love that. So let me drop the bike down a little bit here. Cover a little more up top. And there is some changes coming up top. There's actually not a whole lot going on up here yet for as far as upgrades. It did have a set of aftermarket levers on it, CRGs I think it was. I have taken those off and sold them because I have something else over here that I'll show you here in just a moment. So this is just a cheap set of Chinese levers that's on here for now. This will be upgraded here very soon. I did cover the brake upgrade down below, but as you can see, we're still running the stock master cylinder, but that will not be for very much longer. These brakes, while they work phenomenally with the Brembo setup, they're very touchy. So I want to get a little bit better master cylinder for this. The new master cylinder comes with new lever, and then I bought a matching lever for the other side. I also will be upgrading the reservoir to a smoked one. It'll look a little nicer. I do have a new throttle tube coming because this one's a little buggered up. He must have been running a throttle lock of some kind there, and it just messed it up. But that actually new one came with the bike. So I'm not going to show it all, but I do have all the stock pipes, or all the stock parts of this bike: shocks, springs, exhaust. Yeah, if I ever want to put it back in stock configuration, I have the option to do that. I have the windscreen. But so I'm going to do one more walk around and just why give up on the dual sport. I bought the KLR thinking that I was going to slow down, get a little more slow roll riding, but it just ended up not being the case. I'm a sport tourer. A lot of you seen my concourse over there. I have lots of miles, lots of travel on that, and I treat that thing like it's a lightweight sport bike. But I wanted a real lightweight sport bike. This thing has a custom Ivan's tune. Oh, not custom, but I think it's an off-the-shelf Ivan's tune. It should be putting down around 150 horsepower, give or take, with maybe 90 foot-pounds of torque. Just going off a Google search for the full Akroprovich air filter upgrade, which it has also, and the Ivan's tune. She weighs, I'm guesstimating, between 480 and 490 pounds. These stock are like 520, but with the pipe removed and a few other mods done, I'm thinking it's probably right around the little south of the 500 range. So I wanted to get to a lightweight sport bike. back to a lightweight sport bike because the dual sport thing wasn't happening. It just didn't thrill me. I went out on rides, and I was ready to come back home after an hour or two. And when I get out on the sport bikes, I can't get enough. I don't want to come home. Do a little start up here before I cover some of the stuff I'm getting ready to do. Oh, turn signal's still on. It does have the quiet inserts in the pipe, so it's not super loud. And I do not plan on removing those. I like the sound that it has. Let her idle down a little bit here and I'll give her a crack. She's a peppy girl. Runs like a dream. She's a wheelie monster. And I'm very happy with my purchase. So coming over to my bench, I've already purchased parts, as a lot of you probably know that I would have done by now. And honestly, this bike isn't going to take a whole lot to put it to where I want to be. I'm probably about 90% there already just with what's on the bench, and I have a couple more items coming. And I'll cover what I don't have yet and why I want to get those. So first off is crash protection. As a lot of you know from other videos, I'm a big T-Rex fan. I think they make a phenomenal product. So I bought their kit for this bike because there's no crash protection on this bike other than, you know, when the bags are on and landing on the exhaust pipe, which that's still going to happen. This is pretty much front end crash protection. So T-Rex frame sliders will protect the engine and the upper fairing and the radiator. Obviously one for each side. Engine case covers. These are, I don't know if these are like I guess they're CNC'd out of whatever. Apologize for not knowing what material that is, but like a very durable, dense, hard plastic that won't crack. It will probably slide. It's probably whatever the frame sliders are also made out of. This is CNC machined, as you can see. Gorgeous products. Case covers. I have the front axle slider as well as swing arm slider with lift spools. So that is about the extent of the crash protection. It's kind of get you home protection, not necessarily going to save the bike, but if you're in a slide, you might be able to at least ride the bike home with these products on there. Some other simple things I'm going to do is I have a stem, triple tree stem mount for my cell phone. I'm going to utilize some parts I already have. This is just the stem mount ball. I have some arms and a couple different mounts I'm going to sample with to see which one I'm going to go with, and a battery tender USB charger. I run these on a lot of my bikes. I like my phone charger to be powered at all times, so I will usually tuck my battery tender lead up in the bike someplace, plug this in, and run something up through underneath the tank to the bars or to the triple tree in this case, to have power to my phone mount, and I will use that for GPS, and that's the only GPS I'm going to run on this. I thought I was going to run my Garmin, but the Garmin's just too big for this bike. It takes up a lot of real estate, so I'm just going to run a phone mount and have more accessibility to apps and stuff. So here's the big upgrade. Pushing that aside. Here is the Brembo Corsa R master cylinder upgrade. The one that's on it is a 17 millimeter. This one is a 19 millimeter for more fluid flow and a longer stroke. This one also has dial controls, so you can dial in the flow that you want. Sorry, I can't get the camera to focus today for some reason. And also a lever adjustment. So that should take the touchiness out of the brakes and let me dial them in better for a better feel. So I'm getting ready to do that today. I'm not going to do any how-tos or tutorials on how to do that because I'm going to fumble through it myself. I do have a shop manual, so that will help with that. But I will show the after product once I get it all on there. And I do have the Brembo matching clutch lever on the way. So that's why I got rid of the CRG levers. I actually sold them for the price of buying the matching clutch lever. So I will have Brembo matching clutch levers. And we'll do a little advertising for them. So first bike with Brembo setup. I'm excited. This should dial in the remaining of the way. And then I also went with the Brembo matching clutch reservoir that is in the smoke. So that is here and ready to put on when I install that master cylinder. This is just the rear brake line that it has not been installed yet. The previous owner hadn't got around to putting it on yet, and a replacement throttle tube that he gave me because he knew the one that was on the bike was a little buggered up. So he went out and got me another throttle tube. And only other things that I plan on doing potentially is a non-locking gas cap, because Kawasaki locking gas caps are garbage. They get that ethanol build up in the springs underneath the cap and they turn to garbage. I've had a Vortex V3 on the old concourse over there since about 5 years ago, and I absolutely love it. So that is one. We'll probably be getting one of those. I haven't even ordered that yet. Wasn't a priority. So I don't have that on order. But yeah, I think that might be it. So I know I'm making this video a little longer than I anticipated making it, but there is a lot to cover on this bike. Very well sorted bike, very well built bike, perfect condition. I know the previous owner. I know how meticulous he is in taking care of his stuff. Similar weight to me, similar riding styles to me, and this bike is already done. So, oh yeah, I also forgot to mention these are almost brand new Pilot Road 5 tires. So these are some very, very good sport touring tires. As you can see, they are very meaty, very good in the rain. So that is also, I think he said there was like 250 miles on those tires when I took delivery of the bike. But I'm sure there might be a couple other things I'm forgetting. But for the most part, that's it. That's the new girl. My wife has already named it. She thinks it looks like an Oreo. And I would not let her name it Oreo, but I agreed to call it Cookie. So, yes, I named my bikes KLR. For those that didn't know, my buddy named it Pumpkin Spice. I don't think I ever mentioned it in the videos, but that's what it got. The concourse over there, I refer to it as the Connie a lot because that's just what people call the concours. They're Connies, but I actually named that bike Candy because that paint color is called Candy Diamond Red. So Candy. This is my wife's bike. Its short name is Red, but since it's an Indian, she named it Mahe. And she actually has its name. It's a little dirty. Its name right there, Mahe. And if I'm not mistaken, that is Cheyenne for red. That's all Mahe means. I think it's Cheyenne, Native American language. The word red in Cheyenne. It's Mahe. So that's it, guys. Here I go, babbling some more. But we'll get some more riding videos on this bike. Obviously, being a new bike, it's going to get ridden a little more than the other one for a short spell. And can't wait. I'm going to have some fun on her. So I appreciate it, guys. Ride safe out there. Hope I don't lose a lot of subscribers over this content. But it's Too Tall Tim Adventures. It was never Too Tall Tim's KLR. I know a lot of you guys are from the KLR community. I plan on sticking around on the Facebook group and leaving my videos up, obviously, for any future reference for y'all. So stick around. Use my videos for reference. I'll still answer a lot of questions about the KLR because I know that bike top to bottom. I had her apart several times, so I'll still be available for anything that you guys may need. So anyway, all right guys, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. See you safe out there. Later.